by stressing on the criteria upon which people are selected for this program, and that is they have to exhibit a certain form of public disturbance or not volunteering for this program. Now, to this point about the discrimination against the mentally ill and how it starts because we lock them up, no, I'm here to deny that. It already exists. It does not need for us to lock them up for it to start. And for that, I have a case. There's a case of a war veteran, and he comes back from the war, and he suffers from symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. These symptoms subside, and he takes up a civil job, and he excels at it, and he stays in it for 18 years. And then a certain event in his life, the divorce, triggers back the onset of his depression and the onset of his post-traumatic stress disorder, and he starts reporting to his boss that he's not feeling well and he needs certain accommodations to be made for him for his mental illness. Of course, thinking that he stayed with the company for 18 years and he'd be granted that. But no, what happens is that the company starts a harassment campaign against him till he leaves his job, until they force him out. Another case is a case of a student, Nott versus George Washington, and by George Washington I mean the university. Now Nott, he's a straight-A student, and he starts suffering from depression, and he gets ideas of suicide, and he becomes hospitalized, and the university, upon knowing that, they charge him with misconduct and tell him you're not allowed to set foot on campus again, and if you do, you're going to be arrested. And there are many incidences of similar students, Catherine who suffers from and all of that. But the idea is that all of them, in these two cases that I mentioned, they went and sought treatment. And what did we do to them? We turned our back against them. Now, I have a poll here, ladies and gentlemen. It's conducted by the UK's Department of Health, and it states that 5 out of 10 people believe that mentally ill are violent and are a threat to society. 1 in 8 people would not want to live next door to a person with mental illness, and a third think they should not have the same rights to a job as everyone. Now, I'm not saying that us detaining them or treating them is going to end discrimination anyway. It might lessen it, it will not end. But I'm here to point out a certain contradiction in what we're doing. We are okay with excluding the mentally ill from our presence. We're okay with placing them in a social prison, a social confinement, because we want to stay safe. We will fear, masalan, for our safety of our children if we send them to school and their teacher is mentally ill. And we will take the children away from their mother if their mother is suffering from a form of mental illness. We're okay with that. We're okay with excluding them in a prison. And this is the first contradiction. The second contradiction is that we are okay also with them rotting away in our system jails who are not equipped to dealing with them because they've committed a crime that their own illness has made them do. And 10% of mentally ill commit homicides, and 10% are going to be locked up in these systems. And we're okay with them receiving sentences similar to normal people in this situation. We're okay with that. And we're also okay with them not getting any form of treatment. As long as they're outside these institutions, they're not getting any form of treatment, but their own disease is locking them in their own mental head. We're okay with all these prisons, but we stand here and violently condemn the one form of confinement that actually seeks to treat them, the one form of confinement that seeks to provide support for them, the one form of confinement that seeks to keep them out of your societal prison, out of the jail system that is ill-equipped to handle them, and out of their own mental prison that is inside their head.
Are you willing to accept any points of information?
Yes.
Where does it say in the topic that locking up in this case means?
Where does it say that locking up in this case is in an institution? Where does it say that locking up has to be in an institution? Why are you saying that you're against them being locked up in jail?
I'm against them being locked up in jail because, actually no, I'm pointing the contradiction in here, that you are standing here and fighting for them not to be locked up when they will be locked up in the jail. 10%.
Well, I'm fighting for them not to be locked up in jail or in institutions. Both are wrong.
I am telling you that this is going to happen. I'm telling you that my institution is not a form of locking up. It's going to treat them. While your institution, what you're proposing means that outside they'll be discriminated against to the extent that they are shunned from the society in their own mental prison, that they will also suffer from this illness alone, or they will end up in jail. So these are 3 scenarios that also involve confinement, and that will happen to them if they're not treated. Did I answer your point?
I have a question for you. How do you think by putting them in that institution, in a prison, or whatever you are calling, okay, would help them? Like, in fact, if I'm existing right here in this place, but I don't want to exist right here, I will do anything. I can commit suicide inside your institution or in your jail or in your prison, whatever that's called.
Yeah, but in this institution, there's supposed to be psychiatrists and there's supposed to be everything to protect them. That's invalid, I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, how do you think this would help them when they feel that they are locked up?
Yes.
They don't have that sort of freedom. How this would help their mental status?
Because
They more or less, they are imprisoned. They're locked up.
Okay, my point is, because many people don't understand it, is that they're already in a prison outside. And what I'm trying to do and trying to propose is that they're in one place where they get treatment, where we focus on their treatment so much that khalas, all other prisons will cease to exist. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much.